I did a bit of steam straightening on the bow and also narrowed it substantially, well not substantially, just tidied it up to a much nicer string line, which actually biases the string slightly towards the arrow pass. The problem now is that you can see that dip at each end, just there, it sort of dips down slightly, similarly there. Of course, when I draw it on the tiller, it makes it look rather whip-ended. So I'm not sure whether I'll take out a bit of that deflex. That deflex dip at either. See what I mean? Now it looks like it's sort of weak at the tips, but I think the tips aren't actually doing anything. Because when I let the bow back down, you see it's got that slight deflex curve. It doesn't need a lot, maybe. In fact, it's sitting pretty much horizontal overall. If I put it on the ground, the belly and the tips are pretty much on the ground. Maybe I'll just try and take out a little bit of that bend, lift that tip by ½ inch, same that end. And it's nice that it's symmetrical, but it's a bit confusing on the eye. So I could take it down and steam those tips while I've got my steamer out. And there's my steamer, and I'm all set up. Here's my jig that I tend to use to clamp it while I'm steaming. Yeah, I might do that, not a lot else to do. Yeah, if I put the tip of the bow like that against my jig, you can see that deflex curve. So what I could do is just steam that last foot or so, whip it out the steamer, put it on there and bang a G-clamp across it just there in the middle and close that gap up, pull it flat. That would probably be enough. Yeah, I think that might be a plan. There, that's got it out the steamer and clamped up tight. You can see that puts a nice straight tip on it. Overall gives it a little bit of reflex there. If I can do similar at this end, it'll be rather nice. Of course, the problem is when I heat treat the belly, will all the heat corrections try and fall out? We'll see. I've done all my heat treating work now, so it looks like I've managed to keep that still in line, and I've got that nasty sort of deflex waggle out of each tip, or certainly a bit better. Yeah, I'll leave that overnight, let it sort of settle down, then we'll have another look on the tiller. Certainly looking a bit more like a longbow, a little bit wide and a little bit thin here and there. But in actual fact, I measured it mid-limb, and it still conforms to the 5/8 thickness over width ratio that they say constitutes a longbow. I mean, it's a load of hogwash really, because most longbows are more like 3 to 4 thickness to width. But anyway, technically, if you enjoy those definitions and all that tosh, then it still thinks it's a longbow. But I don't care, it's what I think that matters.